So getting into American Beauty,
Yeah.
just talk a little about the making of it.
We had a whole bunch of really neat songs at that point, and
Amazing.
yeah,
To this
it was
day.
probably one of the better collections of songs that all happened at the same time.
I mean, it was a kind of a family affair there.
Yeah,
I mean, wasn't Nelson around? And,
yeah, all the Nerps were there. I mean, we gave him. I think we even gave them
Matt
credit.
Kelly.
Right.
Grisman came around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So Phil, why did Dave Tober play the bass on Box of Rain?
Oh, because I wanted to play acoustic guitar. and I actually didn't want it to sound like the Grateful Dead. So I asked Dave Nelson to play electric guitar, and I played acoustic. Tober played bass, and that's how we recorded it. I don't know why I didn't want it to sound like the Grateful Dead. It was a Grateful Dead record.
Yeah, but the Dead record was sounding different than any Dead record that had gone before it already.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I'm telling you, we sure made Warner Brothers happy at this time. They were just falling all over themselves.
Well, I mean, we knew they were good songs.
Yeah.
We don't think about, or we didn't, and I still don't particularly think about that level of what the song is going to do. You know, it's another song, and it's a good song, and you know, our job is to put it over, you know, and let it tell its story.
It's so nice to hear you guys do Addicts. You guys are sounding so good doing that song again.
That song just thrills me to the marrow every time.
Right, it's great.
Every time I even think about it, it's just
The way we used to do parts back then, and still do, it was completely nuts. Whereas Crosby, Stills, and Nash would do parts, they'd all be parallel.
yeah.
The way we did parts, we just found the parts. Most of them were melodic. So some parts would, all the time, parts would be crossing. We just sang what we came up with a melody that fit over that melody, or fit with that melody, not over or below.
Yeah.
Not necessarily tracking it.
Yeah, they sort of wove together, really wove together rather than
It was polyphonic rather than polyphonic.
I can't think of anybody else really. Not Lambert, Hendrix, and Ross. Nobody really did it the way we did it.
You say